Hi you guys, my name's Tamika. This is my channel Tamika Uploaded, and today we're going to talk about the series The Raven Boys. OMG, you guys, I am more than elated to talk to you guys about The Raven Boys. I finally completed the whole series, and let's talk about the ups and downs and trials and tribulations of reading Maggie Stiefvater. She is a very wonderful author. So without further ado, I apologize. This may be unpopular opinion, a lot of things that I will say, but hopefully you'll be able to meet me and see where I'm coming from. But let's get into it. I'm gonna go by each book and then I'm gonna give you my overall feel about the entire series. So let's start with the first book. I may have already done a review, so I'm not gonna really go into what each book is visually about, but just so you know, this is a whole series about a girl named Blue and her friendships that she makes with the Aglonby boys, also known as the Raven Boys. Gansey, Rowan, Noah, and Adam all go to this Aglonby Academy. They all have one mission, and that is to find the Raven King. They say if you find the Raven King and wake him, he will bestow upon you a wish. So Gansey knows that the Raven King is real, and he has traveled all over the world, and he feels as though he's finally found a place here at Aglonby where he can probably finally find the Raven King. Well, I don't want to tell you too much because it kind of messes up a lot of the other books. It is a whirlwind of a story. Let's get into my feels about each book. Okay, The Raven Boy. This is the one that sparked everything. People loved it. I didn't. I did not love the first book. I thought it was super slow. I think what saved it for me, that allowed me to say, hey, let me read a little bit more, was probably the last couple of chapters actually, where I was like, okay, now you got me. I really loved it. But there's another piece in here that I loved, and that is that something that you have to understand, that this is definitely magical realism, as in we're living in, you know, today's society, but these magical occurrences happen, but they're not what really drives the story. What really drives the story are the lives of this boy and the life of Blue, and the fact that she has a mysterious prophecy over her head. The first boy that she kisses will die. So she's never kissed a boy, and I think that that's just such an interesting premise. She's come close, but she never does because she doesn't want anyone to die. So there's just so many little things that are happening, but it's between the prophecy, the drive to find the Raven King, that really pushes the story to the next level. But as far as how many these pages are concerned, you're really just living through their day-to-day lives as they are teenagers, as they are dealing with family, as they are dealing with school and life, and what they're going to do when they graduate from school. Things that we all would typically pretty much go through at this age. Maybe not with as much money, so we may not have as many options as some of them, but that's really what happens in this story. But what's really cool about this story, and what goes through on the rest of the books, is the ambiance. The ambiance of that Maggie Stiefvater creates is amazing. It's so dark and mysterious, and like how you imagine if a book could create a cloudy day. That's the mysticism that you feel from this book. And another thing that I really like is just that kind of that southern feel that you get, that maybe you get from Louisiana or South Carolina. It's just such a nice southern feel to it, but it just has all that hard-hitting punch you can really relate to. So the first book, I told you I didn't really care for it. I thought it was a little slow, too slow. It starts off slow, it stays slow. I've told people time and time again, you gotta fight through it. I actually did not read this one. I did this one via audiobook. Still slow. Like I'm just letting you know now, you just really got to get through this first book. There's a lot of people who find this to be a masterpiece. As you can see, it was 2013's best book for young adults. So in 2013, this was everything. But for me, I it was a little bit slow. I like fast-paced books, but that is a preference. If you don't mind something being a little slow, if you love a nice little ambiance and you just love for the characters and their lives to just completely absorb you, this is an awesome read, and I would say definitely go for it. If you're not into that and you love action and hard-hitting punches, I would say just get through it, okay? It gets better. Now, the next book in the series is Dream Thieves. This is my favorite book out of the entire series, period. And that's because now we're really honing in on a particular character, and that character is Ronan, and he is my favorite. He's my bias. And so I love him so much, and he represents so much in society today. And I'm sorry, I just get so excited when I talk about this book, but I loved it so much. Why? Is because after the events of the first book, you are just like ready, okay? You're so bloody ready for all the cool stuff that happens. Like, the magic really amps up in this book, and it goes hard and goes home real quick. I love this book so much. There's new characters, we have a new villain, but even with the new villain, our character Ronan here goes through so much crap in this book, and he's trying to hold in all his secrets and deal with all these things that are going on in his life, that it's just like, okay, I understand you're a bad guy, but I have life to deal with right now. Like, I just like, Ronan, my baby! I just loved it so much. And the ending was rock solid. It was a rock solid ending. So I love this book from beginning to the end. There's so much adventure, so much mysticism, so many new secrets to uncover, and it's just like, yes! This is what I wanted. This is what I wanted in a book, period. So now the next book in the series is Blue Lily Blue. You guys, okay, so this is my I would probably say my second favorite out of the series, because we introduce a new villain. Her name is Piper, and she is awesome. Like, I just love Piper so much because I love a good villain, and she had that. She's like Harley Quinn, except soulless. Like, how to explain it? Like, but it's like she's so relatable. Like, I get why she's so upset. But I love her so much. She is actually not the star villain in here. She's actually the girlfriend of the main villain. But I just honed in on her. Like, I was just like, what does Piper say next? What does Piper do next? Like, I loved her so much. And in this one, we're moving more deeper into the story, and we're finding out another part of the mystery that's associated with the Raven King. And let's just say they unlock something they shouldn't have unlocked, and it gets bananas. Bananas so much that it leads us into the next book, The Raven King. Okay, so this is the final book in this series, and wow. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was a little let down with this one, okay? And let me explain. Now, I get why it happened. What I don't get is that we're all about the Raven King. This whole series is about the last book is called The Raven King. And I just really feel like I didn't get what I wanted. You know, I didn't get what I wanted. You got me all hyped up on this adventure with these boys and this girl and these new people and these new characters, these assassination attempts, you know what I'm saying, these monsters, okay, ghosts and stuff. I am just ready. I'm like, oh my goodness, all this is surrounding the Raven King. Who must this guy be? Like, you'll have to read to find out, but all I'm saying is just like, really? That's how we're gonna end it? But I mean, it was, for the most part, for what was happening and going, and you must always keep in mind the prophecy that's looming over Blue's head, you know, all that's wrapped up. Everything is wrapped up nicely. It's just not how I wished it would have went, but I thought it was a beautiful novel. Piper. She was a boss ass bitch, and what can you say about that? So and it was just so much going on by the time you get to the last 2 books, because now we got agencies and we're finding out family secrets. By the time you get in this book, loves are revealed, and it's us against the world, baby. Like, that is what happens in this book. And so what I can say is that even though I was not in love with the way this ended, what I will say is that I loved how it ended. Now let's talk about this series. Would I recommend this series? I would say yes. I would say definitely I would recommend this series. However, for me, it wasn't like the best series I have ever read. Definitely not. But I thought it was lovely. I thought it was poetic. I thought that the way it was written, it was just so nice. These characters that are created are absolutely amazing. You will draw yourself into them. You'll be absorbed by them. And I thought that was amazing. That's what you want in a book. The world that was created, you become very acclimated to it. You begin to expect certain things from it, because now you're living in this world. You've been doing it for 4 books, 3 books, or however you've been doing it. You become very acclimated. So I love the fact that, this world was home in a way, because you're so used to it. It's ins and outs and the way it works, which is very important to the story as you read it. But but for people who cannot handle a slow read, these books are going to be hard for you. I think that Dream Thieves is maybe the fastest in my opinion, and I think Raven King actually had a really good pace as well. I thought Blue Lily Blue and the Raven Boys were a little bit slower than the rest of the series. But like I said, if you can hang in there, there's such payoff. But don't fall attached to too many characters. People die in these books, okay, you guys? People die, okay? I will tell you this, some of them come back, some of them don't. So, y'all don't know if your character that you love so much is gonna live or not. I can't tell you that. And I can't tell you if they do die, they're gonna come back to life. So anyway, you guys, that is my review with the Raven Boys. If I had to give the whole series a rate, I would give it about, I would give it a 4.2. I would definitely give it like maybe a 4.25. Like, I feel like that's fair, a 4.25. Like, I love these books in the sense of I got them from the library, but if given the opportunity to own them, I would own them. If given the opportunity to reread them, I would not reread the first book. No, I can't go through that again. But I would reread the second book, Dream Thieves, and I wouldn't mind reliving Blue Lily Blue. And if I'm gonna do those 2, then of course I would want to just relive Raven King, because a lot of stuff happened. It got, oh girl, oh yeah! Okay. So anyway, if you love gossip and juiciness and intrigue and thrillers and horror, as well as a little bit of that Gossip Girl feel, then I think you will definitely enjoy the Raven Boys cycle. And if you've read all the books, let me know down below. Let's talk about it. If you haven't read them, let me know. Did I convince you? Do you think you'll pick it up? I think it'll be a great fall read. It's a good, nice, laid back fall read. Anyway, guys, I love y'all. I am doing, look at me recording with this sun out. Yes, honey, yes.